I'm live. Sweet. No one's going to be here. I just decided to do this impromptu. So, if you're watching this, it's because it was recorded. But maybe we'll get some people hanging out. Um, I'm sure that no one will really come in here until they see the cool things I think that I'm going to do. and and that's said with utmost confidence. But really, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm messing around with Python. I had some small success with this because ChatGPT treated me like a little baby and took me step by step to do something, and it worked. So I'm assuming that I can do something similar this go around. Um, and here's the end goal. When I have a project, someone sends me a plan file, and I'm gonna do collaborative work with them. And if you've ever caught any of my other videos about the topic of, our human brain and how fast we process images versus text. And I mean, there's a number out there, it's 60,000 times faster. So I already knew that about myself. I process images way faster. So folders, I want folder icons. So that's one thing. I want folder icons on every folder that I navigate to frequently. Next is that I have a particular workflow where someone sends me a plan file and I'm looking at it, whatever, I'm playing around with it. It goes into a folder I call send and delete. Okay. And I have a NAS drive and I have a cloud-based send and delete. So either one. And what that means is that I'm okay to delete everything in these folders and I'm not going to miss anything. But occasionally that plan file moves into a project folder. And so my project directory, you can see what it looks like. I have to generate a new folder. I want to generate an icon, apply it to the folder. I want to generate a folder within that folder that's meant for sharing on Dropbox, because if we share the root file, it changes the folder icon. And then I want to save a project name folder. And then I want to put that plan file into a new folder that's backdated and copy it into another folder that's the current date with the current design version, iteration, project name, and a suffix that's my initials. I do that for every project. And yeah, maybe it takes 10, 15 minutes, but wouldn't it be great if it took 2 seconds? So moved over to ChatGPT and found if you have GPT plus, you can get custom GPTs is what they're called. Very unfortunate nomenclature. Go try searching for GPTs and you're going to find everything regarding ChatGPT. It's dumb. But regardless, I found a GPT that is for Python scripting for beginners. Hello, me. Never done it before. But I've been scripting in Ruby for a while now using ChatGPT and I've been successful. So hey, maybe we can do it in Python and be successful. I know enough to know a few things, and one is that I need to set up working directories where I'm going to be able to specify within Python directories that will never change no matter what system I'm on, so that I can use whatever I create across all systems and maybe even distribute what I use. Who knows? So here's the thought. In my C drive, I think I'm going to name everything lowercase. As soon as you start naming things sentence case, I notice that when you get into certain scripting languages, sentence case really becomes a problem. You have to downcase everything in coding speak in order to search for a particular file name, etc. So I know I just want to keep everything as lowercase. And then here we go. I've got C drive, convert, job folder generator, and I've got a py file here. And so here's the thought, and I'm going to explain the hotkeys I'm using as I'm using them. So, um, and I'm in a Windows operating system, so this is all Windows specific. If you didn't know already, I have Power Toys, which was developed by some of the people at Microsoft. Power Toys enables fancy zones. Fancy zones allows me to drag this folder around and dock it to zones that I've created very easily. And then so I can do Control N to get me a new Windows Explorer window and dock it over to the right here if I'd like to be able to drag stuff back and forth. So here's my thought. I'm going to just grab a plan file here and we'll just copy it over. I held Control while I brought it over. That makes a copy as opposed to moving it. And then I need an image file. Perfect. So hold Control. There we go. So what Gen Python does is my first attempt at scripting. I think what it does, and we'll see, is that it looks in its current folder for a plan file. It looks in its current folder for an image file. Let's just try it. I'm going to double click it. Enter the client's name for this folder. Okay, so I'm going to close that down. I know that the permissions of Python become different when you run the Python script versus running the Python script from a command prompt. This is already beyond me. So if it feels like it's beyond you, yeah, I'm with you. But I've done a little bit of things in command before. Namely, I followed someone's instructions on how to even use it. So I just hit the Windows key, typed in CMD. That brings up command prompt. I'm going to right click it, run it as administrator. Okay. I'm not going to be able to zoom in on all of these things because I can't zoom in on everything because some of this stuff is system stuff that we can't zoom in on, I don't think. Let's test it. Yeah, I can't zoom right now. So unfortunately, you're going to see it at whatever resolution your screen's at. So I know that I can do, let's see, change directory C colon backsplash, and we called this folder convert. And hopefully you name your things very simply so you remember them. But there we go, job. And everything has to be perfectly written, right? Or it doesn't work. So I think there we go. So now I'm in convert job folder generator. Perfect. From here, I get to say, I think I get to say Python, and then in quotes, gen.py quote. And that's the name of my Python script. And so when I hit enter, there we go. And it prompts me to say, enter the client's name for this folder. And let's just go James and enter the project name, Worthy. So here's where it does some magic. And let's go see what it did. It took this image, it cropped it to a square and made it 256 by 256. It converted it to an icon. It saved it where I keep all of my icons in another directory. And then it generated a folder. So its folder's name's James. Inside of there is Rabbit Design Portal, which is what I would be saving on, I'd be sharing that from Dropbox to my client. So that's what they see. And then here's the project name, Worthy, which we just generated. And then I've got backdated one date, right? The 20th was yesterday. So it's backdated. This is what we received from the client, right? And then forward date with my naming convention. Year, month, day, design review A, version 1, Worthy is the job name, RR is my initials. And now I get to, so it missed one thing. It should have had this file here as well, so that I could just start working on that, and that's going to be the new version. I need to take this a step further and say that it's going to, not only is it going to copy whatever this file is, but it's going to add -n, or rather -ab, make a copy of it again, -n. So there's the thought. Someone's asking, it will write your code for you? Yes, it will. So let's look at what I'm getting in ChatGPT. So I'm going to go back a few steps because we need to fix a few things. So let's see. And so I'm going to tell it, let's fix a few things. Well, here, maybe I'll talk it out. Let's fix a few things. First, I moved the directory to C drive, and then within a folder called convert, and then within a folder called folder generator. The Python's file name is gen.py, and we need to fix a couple of things. When we make the backdated folder, that's great. But then when we make a copy of that into my new named convention folder, I want to change the name of the plan file by adding a -ab and then copy it again and replace the -ab with a -n. This should all be lowercase, except for the first letter of the plan file name. So I've got a running dialogue that I've got with ChatGPT, and so this is a Python script generator. I don't know who created this. Um, there's probably a way I could copy there we go. I could copy the link to this. I don't know if copying the link copies the link to the generator or if it copies the link to um, my particular script. Either way, I don't care. You guys can have it. So I'm going to post this in the comments. I'm not sure where that takes you, but try it out. If you have ChatGPT Plus, if you don't, I don't think it works. So this is it writing the script for me. Now, some ChatGPT stuff is great in the sense that it even gives you a way to automate the Python script itself. This isn't going to do that. I have to go in and edit it myself. So I'm going to come in here to the top and hit copy code. Okay. And I don't even bother looking at this to learn from it. I will once I start hitting issues, but I'll keep just copy pasting, etc., back and forth to kind of run into those issues naturally and then learn from that, if that makes sense. So coming back to this folder, I'm hoping that I named everything correct. First of all, I'm going to cut this. So Control X, go back a few levels so that I have job folder generator is what I called it, but we should just call it folder generator is fine, but maybe job folder generator is better. Oh, but no, it's important. It's important that we get that right. So for now, let's change it to folder generator because that's what the Python script wants to see now. And I have something open in command prompt. So I had to close that in order to change the name. So gen.py, I know this is hard to see, but this is what I'm going to right click, open with, and open in. I like using Notepad++. I think that works real well. So I copied the code. I should be able to Control A and Control V, and hopefully something changed. I don't know that it did. Let's try this again. Let's just make sure I got it for sure. Let's copy the code here and Control A, Control V. There we go. Definitely looked like something changed there. And I just like to test it, try it. Why not? It's not hurting anything to just try it. So let me come back to where this lives. Let's expand this window a little bit so you guys maybe can see. I know this is so hard to see. Maybe I'll change my scaling, my display setting scalings. Let's pump this up to like 150. There, that's big. That's a lot bigger. There we go. So here we go. We got gen.py. We want to get rid of James. We've got our test image. I'm holding control and mouse wheeling up to change the size of these, by the way. Mouse wheel down, mouse wheel up, right? So while holding control. My control button's on my mouse. So here's my test image. That's what I want to crop. I want to duplicate this. Let's actually just rename this example. And then here's my py. I'm going to hit run command or CMD. Here's my command prompt. I'm going to do it outside of administrative privileges, just see if that works. And then here's where I'm going to change directory and get to this folder directory. Now, I know I can just come in here in the address bar, copy it, take it back to their CD, paste, right? Or I don't even think you need to hit CD. I think you just could paste, but there we go. Now we're in our directory. Now this is when I get to go Python and then gen.py. And let's see what it does this time. Enter client's folder name. So let's pick a new person's name. Who do we got? Steph. And the project name, Curry. And we've got an error this time. So if you're in this, you're in it for the long haul because I fight errors for hours. Because in the end, this is going to save me. I don't know. I feel like it might save me $1,000 on the year. That's significant. So if I spend, you know, and $1,000 worth of hours developing it, well, I'm in a net zero after 1 year, but I'm gaining every other year, right? Let's let's say if we think of everything in a 10-year term, I save 9 grand if I figure this out. Wonderful. So, and then on top of that, hopefully you're investing that and making some kind of percentage back. I'm not right now. Someone shoot me in the dang foot. What are you doing with your investments? Ugh. Okay, moving on. What happened here? Enter the project, blah, 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 convert line. I like to read this just to see if I can see anything wrong with it. But the simple thing is just to take this and bring it back to ChatGPT, and hopefully it figures out what the problem is. So sometimes I've noticed that you have to install some Python package called Pillow and then update it. And a lot of the GPT Python scripting is using an old version of Pillow. I don't even know what that means, but I know that that's the problem I run into. So sometimes you got to tell it that, yeah, yeah, I want an updated version of Pillow for what that's worth. This is all foreign language to me. If someone comes in here and they know Python, cool. Teach me a few things. But I also don't think like I'm going to retain anything all that well first time around. Let's go see what it did. It did create Steph. It did create Curry. There's just no plan file in there. Yeah, there's no plan file in there. Plan file's still here. So let's get rid of that. And then let's go see what it did here. So sometimes yeah, you have to read through this a little bit because you'll catch stuff like this. Process for setting an icon remains the same. And so I can't tell if that is a place marker text and there's missing code here or not. So sometimes you have to just learn when it's giving you notes that it's like place marker text, meaning like it's only giving you a partial code. That's annoying. So you got to tell it, don't give me any place marker text, give me the entire code. So here we go. We get to come back to our Python script, paste this in, control. So I just did control A, control V, Victor, control S for save. And then I can alt tab back to my folder generator window, or in this case, my command prompt, and I can try to execute this again. And if you save this, that makes it even faster, right? So python gen.py, and I think I can mouse over this and copy. Yeah. And then I think I just get to hit enter. Okay. Let's try Steph Curry again. And so it acted like it did something right, but I don't see a new image. Now, sometimes the icon is not updated here, and you have to hit a refresh on Explorer, or you have to restart Explorer. In this case, it doesn't look like it did it. Alt-Enter gets you into folder settings, and Customize gets you to change icon. And we can see here that it didn't actually do anything here. But let's see if it generated Steph, and it did not. So it didn't generate the icon. So that's one problem. Next, let's go look through this. There's our example plan. It didn't add my dash AB, and oh, it didn't need to, but it did it here. This is fantastic. Oh man, this is going to save me so much time and frustration. I hate tedious things that are redundant. Let's automate everything that we do that's redundant. So this is awesome. It gave It left the original file in a backdated folder that was given to me, and then it brought in as built and new. So I get to just start picking up and drafting from new. I can't tell you how that's exciting. It's really exciting. So now we just got to figure out the icon generation. After that, I want to be able to make an executable from this, which means that's a program, right? So that I can actually give someone else the program. Now, keep in mind, they would need to have the same folder structure for where I'm keeping my icons for it to work, but that's not the end of the world. And in fact, I think my folder structure is really great. I keep my icons in um, my user profile. So percentage sign, if you didn't know this, let's just hit Control N and user profile. If you hit percentage sign, user profile, percentage sign, that's going to take you to your main directory. So I could do instead user profile, percentage sign, and I think it's a backslash and go assets, backslash images, icons. And that's where I keep my stuff right there. User profile, percentage sign, assets, images, icons. If I hit enter, there we go. Takes me to those icons. Although, why are there no other icons here? Would be interesting. Interesting. Oh, shoot. Assets, images. Interesting. It's not bringing me to the correct location here. This is where. Okay, so it's making icons in the wrong location. So I have to correct it. Huh. Wonder why. Oh, I'm missing the OneDrive piece of this. The OneDrive assets, images, icons. Ooh, oops. So let's see if we can get to this just by user profile. See, little errors. And then backslash one, capital D, drive. So much easier if everything's lowercase. Assets, images, icons. I'm going to copy this because we're going to put it in that Python code. Enter. Okay. So I need to correct the location. Correct the location. And then, so we're back in Python. And I'm going to say Windows key H, dictation. Everything worked except for the image generation. Also, I need to correct the directory of where I save my icons because I gave you the incorrect directory. And I'm just going to stop it real quick and just say, I haven't read, well, let's just, your response, but I just want to let you know that the pillow directory is updated to the most current version, if that makes a difference for the icon generation. Boop, boop, boop. You need a lot of patience to do this. You do, but you know, those numbers I gave earlier, that's big. If I if I really were to test, I should time myself on how long it takes me um, to create these folders because I think it's at least 15 minutes. And if I'm looking at 300 jobs a year, yeah, do the math, and this only takes 2 minutes versus 15 minutes. I'm saving 13 minutes on 300 jobs a year. Do that. Divided by 4. Don't make me do math. 75. 75 is the number. I just don't know what 75 means. 75 hours? Is that what that is? That can't be right. 750 hours? I don't know. Someone do the math for me. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to do the math for me. All right, so let's get back to see if it works this time. So again, that was copy code, Control Tab to get to Notepad++, Control A, Control V, and then Control S, and then Alt Tab, and we'll get back to our section here. I want to come in and grab this example. So Control X to cut it, come back to folder generator, Control V to paste it. Let's get rid of stuff. So for those that are just joining, we're writing a Python script that eventually, hopefully, will become a program that is taking this plan, putting into a folder of my designation, copying it forward to another folder of my designation, adding some additional info so that I can start a project, and then taking this image, cropping it, creating an icon, putting it on the main folder in a short version. You have to go back and watch from the beginning of this video, which is maybe a lot to ask of people. All right, so let's try this again. Now I have clipboard history turned on. Windows key, clipboard history, if you didn't know this one. And turn that on. And then what that means is in my command prompt here, I can actually hit Windows key V and find that Python GenPy. There we go. So I'm executing my Python script, which is called GenPy. And hopefully everything was fixed in this version. Let's go. We need a new name. Not going to keep using basketball star names. Sarah Silverman. Name move plan is not defined. Name it move. So that's kind of the same issue that we had before that it needed to fix. So I'll post the error, and then on top of that, remember that this version worked for that error, but didn't create icons. And I will paste a previous version that worked, which was this one. And hopefully that'll do a better job, because I don't know what exactly happens in ChatGPT, but it does not have a memory through the entire thread. You could post a link of the entire thread back to itself to maybe create a memory, but I think it only contextually figures things out. Maybe one interaction back, right? And beyond that, it forgets, which is really frustrating. It's not like having a real conversation where, contextually, we remembered what we just said 5 minutes ago, so we're building on that. ChatGPT doesn't do that, so that's kind of a problem here. I'm not even going to read what it's saying. I'm just going to try it again. So I'm going to do a copy code, come over here, bang bang, S, copy command prompt, and then we're going to get to that. We can even pin this. So pin this one. There we go. And before I do that, I want to make sure might need to clean up some stuff here. Let's just get rid of that. Everything else looks good. And let's hit it again. Sarah's not recognizing internal. Oh. Indentation error. Expecting indent block after function. Okay. Interesting. If I knew Python, it'd probably be easy to just make a couple corrections and then bam, go from there. But this isn't my GPT, because when I write my own GPTs, I like it to include a bunch of notes in the scripting. because you can do in Ruby, we can do a hashtag before a line, and that indicates that it's a note, it's not an executable line of code. And so the notes end up telling me what every section does so that I can better understand it when I'm looking through it, so that I might be able to see what's wrong in the code. Because I'm good at directing, I just don't know the methods, execution, or, path and approach to take. I'm like a Python manager. Okay, let's get back to this. Nothing changed here. So we should be able to do this one more time. Might be moving too fast. I should check a couple things. All right. This is good so far. What do we got? Okay. So we got the folder. It's there. We did not get the icon generation again. And I might want to elevate the command prompt. Let's browse. Let's see. Did Sarah show up? Sarah showed up. So it generated an icon at some point in one of these. Sometimes, so it has some kind of permission issue. So maybe it's an elevated command prompt. And everything else, there's my example plan, right? And then let's go to the other folder. There's my example AB, example N. Perfect. So everything was done. Icon was generated. So this is a permissions issue. So let's try it again with elevated permissions. So Control X, come back to here, paste, get rid of this, and let's close command prompt down and right click, run as administrator. Let's see if I can just go C. Can I just do that? No. Okay, so change directory C. Folder folder generator, Bam. Someone's cutting down a tree. I can hear it. Just fell down. Okay, so we have this all set up. Yeah, we do. Where's my little pin? I think this is the pinned section. No, it's not. What's the point of pinning something if you can't just see all the pins right away? That's interesting. Huh. All right. Yes. Check. Refresh. Still didn't get the icon on there, even though guess was created. Man, so close. Right, and I just applied it, and it's not showing up immediately, but you have to refresh. So that's what it would look like. And what I'm usually doing there is screen clipping someone's company logo, and so that just helps me pick it up right away. So we know all this other stuff is working. Control X brings us back to folder generator. So let's come back to the Python code, and maybe it helps to let's copy this code and explicitly state this code works perfectly. Let me just Control H or Windows H. Generates the icon. It puts it in the correct folder. It does everything I want with all folders. The only thing it does not do is apply the icon to my root folder. And I am running this in an elevated command prompt and executing the Python script from that command prompt. And I almost want to take it back to a previous script that worked fine, and I probably should have kept that because now I got to go search through. I'd have to go search through my history with this particular setup. Unless, did I make a copy here? Was I smart enough to make a copy? No, I wasn't. Dummy, big dummy. Oh, although, ha, we could bring it back from Dropbox because essentially it's just in Dropbox's trash, or just go look through my history. What's Claude? What's Claude 2? I don't know what Claude 2 is. What's Claude 2? I want to know. I just immediately think of Jean-Claude Van Damme. Anthropic Claude 2. Talk to Claude. I love when people post this, David. I love when people, send me to new things. And a longer memory. You had me. You had me at Claude 2. Okay. So we should learn how to code with Claude. Is this a free thing? What's the deal here? Continue. Oh man, you got me signing up. Okay, Claude. Uh-oh. Publicly gonna give my number out. Some spammer's gonna call me. Gotta get what's my verification code offline here. Okay. Hello, I'm Claude. What an unfortunate name, Claude. Yeah. You should never record yourself clicking an acknowledged button publicly. Yeah. I got you, Claude. Give me what you want. All right. I'm working on a Python script, and so far it's working pretty well, except for one detail. This Python script, as you can see, is going to generate some folders to my specifications, and it's going to generate an image icon to be applied to the root folder. But for some reason, it's not applying to the root folder. It's generating the icon as I intended, and it's putting the icon in the correct folder location to never be moved, but it's never applying that icon to my folder. Everything else is absolutely correct. David's over here laughing. You see this? Nice. Yeah, there you go. I pulled it off the screen. I swear. No one should ever see that. All right. So where was I? I need to get to this. Okay. This is the one that worked. This code worked perfectly. Yeah. So we're gonna copy this over to Claude. We'll see what Claude does. See if he's a Claude or not. You're a Claude. Okay. Okay, so we're going to give it a little backstory here. I like to just skim and then keep going. I don't feel like I ever get the correct answer first. Um, so first up, I want to be, let's see, remove lines, use attributes. Let's just tell it. I am running this as an administrator in a command line prompt. So I'm executing the Python from a command console with administrative privileges. Does that change anything for your end script? And please give me an entire script to utilize. The end goal of this will be to generate an executable file once we prove that the Python script works as intended. All right, Claude, let's go. And is there a limit to how much I get to talk to Claude? That's my next question. What's Pro? How much does Pro cost? So it's giving me a complete script. Okay, so it said it should have worked. Well, it didn't. And then it's giving me a new script. Interesting that it's saying PyInstaller one file your script up. Oh, the PyInstaller one file your script. I already know what that is. That's to generate an executable. I'm not there yet. So we're going to figure out if this works first. So we'll copy code. Bam. Save it. And then where are we? Folder generator. Here's our, oh no, that's my other folder generator. Folder generator. There's that, and that. Okay. This is all set up. Command line prompt is administrator command prompt. Yep. Window key V. How do you keep track of all this stuff? Man, you really got to get into like a flow state to get going on this. No module named Win32. Probably means I need to install something. All right, Claude. I like the way you're talking to me, but you failed once already. It's telling me to install something. I figured that was the case. Okay. Successfully installed. And now now let's try it. All right. Claude is my client's folder name. Van Dam is my project name. And we got some errors. Permission error. There we go. So even though I'm in an administrative command prompt, I'm getting permission denied from the desktop INI. And can we come back to convert, show more, alt enter, uncheck read only, apply to all subfolders, and security, edit, authenticated users, full control. Everything else should have full control. Did that say denied? I didn't stop long enough to look. Okay, so press OK. Okay. Let's get back into folder generator. We lost our, there's Claude Van Dam. And let's cut this one more time. Last time, I bet. I bet this is the last time we do this. I'm gonna have to go clean up a bunch of icons later on. Bunch of funny Funny named icons, and project name, John Clone. Well, 256 by 256 image icon is like, what, a 12 kilobyte file? It's nothing. Van, I don't know how to spell Van Dam. They still got a permission error. Okay. Help me, Claude. Let's see, even in give me the entire code, Claude. Let's see what happens. Right click, open link in new tab. What is subscribe to Pro? $20 a month, which is the same as ChatGPT. So David, you think Claude's better than ChatGPT? This feels very similar. Didn't that just look like it did exactly the same thing? Okay. Should write another code just to be able to cut this project file back to the beginning again. So I'm not doing this a million times. Okay. Try it again. We're going to have success. This is where these videos get boring. I got to do this until I get it right. I'm not going to stop. I need more water, but that's about it. Okay. Need a new name. Someone start giving me a new name. It's going to be David B. Still permission error. I'm not sure that this really copied for it. Import shut util. Is that? No, that's all the same. Cloud 132. Desktop INI. Yeah. Still the same problem, my friend. Here's that part where the rest of the code remains the same. Don't make me do this. Oh, I just want to copy it, paste it. That way I'm not trying to interpret. Return backdated. I mean, we could try to do this, but this just invites the potential of errors, right? So what was that last line? Return backdated. Return back, because I have to go find that line. Here it is. So if I paste, that should be hopefully correct, but we'll see. Things that make you go, hmm. Oh, I got even more issues this time around. Cool. Score's a little bit better right now. Okay. Yeah, I feel you there. Next week he'll frog leap. Yeah. He'll fix something, figure something out. See, don't know that. I don't think I would ever be switching to Linux though. Well, I say that, but 10 years from now and I suddenly become some kind of iPhone app person, developer. Yeah, you hate Linux too? Yeah. I've never I've maybe seen Linux. That's it. Okay. Just give me the whole code, dude. What's your problem? Give me the entire code with this correction. I would love, I mean, I do love it if this has more of a memory, because that whole thing about, contextually, like forgetting something that it just did is crazy to me. It's just not the way our brains work. So it's so challenging. If I knew how to code, it'd be much easier to contain things by individual blocks that I want to fix. That would be a better method, but I don't know what I'm doing. And I've had a lot of great success coding Ruby in Chief, and it's been awesome. My new versions of my templates are freaking amazing. Let's see, what am I doing here? Generator. Paste that as text. Whatever. Okay. CNC Music Factory. Clearly need music. It's such a shame you can't play music without having licensing issues unless I have it in my earpiece. But even then, sometimes it's so good at picking that up that it'll even pick up from the earpiece. Okay, so we've got, let's do a refresh. So all of that worked correctly still. Let's just do a cut while we're here. But it does not look like we didn't change our icon. And do we get CNC? Oops, CNC. We did get CNC. Such a shame. We're so close. The funny thing is I had this working earlier in a Python script. I had it. It was totally working. So I don't know. why I can't get it to work now. Yeah. Hmm. Let's see if Claude can listen um, where ChatGPT absolutely refuses to listen. When you put in all caps, never. I think there's some coding that you can use to like specific characters you can use in here to make like a solid statement to be followed. But I just do all caps because that makes me feel better. Um, Never give me place marker or partial code. And then if I try this and it fails, I think that's when we kill the live stream and I go struggle with this for hours. Let me, okay. Bump, bump, bump. Should just copy this again. So it's up in the stack. MC, hammer, and we got problems again. Did they come out with a 5090? Really? How fast do they say it is? I mean, my 4090 is so fast. I don't I don't know that I need an upgrade. Even the 7900 XTX is so fast. Like, and we're in X16 beta. I can't talk about it, but it's fast there too. Um, 2 times faster. I don't know that I need that unless I'm maybe in twin motion, but I get so few twin motion jobs. I'm not sure that I care. Like, here's physically based, and samples are set to 4. I'm never going to have it at a different sample rate than this. I like to work in physically based. This is fast. This is flying, I don't need it any faster than that. What's it going to save me? Two seconds per refresh? Not even. It's going to save me 1 second per refresh. 1,000. Let's see. Hold on. Click in place. Let me set a timer or a stopwatch, right? Stopwatch. Reset. All right. I'm going to click. 2 seconds. So it's going to save me 1 second per every time I draw something. All right. I guess that adds up. How many clicks then would you have to do to actually, pay for the 5090 before the next card comes out and it's instant? But it's not even saving me 1 second. It's just that it refreshes, but I can still move around, right? So it's only saving me 2 seconds per time that I actually want to sit here and see it freshed out. I don't know that I care. It's 4090. I'll have this for a couple of years probably. And then the 7900 XTX is like maybe a second slower. I just don't know that one series, top of the line series to the next top of the line series makes a difference every year. Because that's a substantial investment. These things are a couple grand and they're hard to get a hold of. Like my buddy had to go slang and and, and go around town to find this 4090. So yeah. And I needed I already had 1,000-watt power supply. And then I have a 3D printer now, so I had to print a custom riser card. I mean, a custom support for it. Yeah, so you're skipping a generation. Have you seen my my Evil Dead computer? That thing's rad. I have a picture of Evil Dead. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. It was a fun machine. Had it at the summit. Oh, here it is. It's an older picture of it. Let's see. Yeah. This thing was just a little rocket ship. Worked perfect all week running stuff. It was fun. Did a theme with it. So Evil Dead Ash from Army of Darkness. All right, what do we got now? What is this from C-Types import types? Okay. What does it mean when we have to install all these modules? When we finally make an executable, does that somehow translate? Give me the whole script, you jerk. So it's no better at listening to you than ChatGPT is. It's the same stupid thing where you have to say, hey, stop truncating the script to give me the entire thing. The thing that I like about the custom GPTs is you can actually go in there and try to brute force some stuff in there. Try to get it to always give you full code, no place marker text. And it works 80% of the time. I will say Claude is very confident that it will work every time. just this is a fool's errand. Let's go. I'm gonna back up here. We had 82 lines of code. Now we've got 99 lines of code. Okay. And let's go get MC Hammer's example plan. And delete. And let's try it again. Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. He's from Oakland, if you didn't know. Still an attribute error. It's doing all this part. It's still just not doing the icon. There's an idea. Cloud, I don't want to date you anymore. Sorry. Moved on. See, ChatGPT thinks that that was a bad approach. So they're duking it out right now. See what happens. Interesting. Yeah, same problem. Give me the whole code. Give me the whole thing. It's also when I finally get a finished code, I'm gonna bring it back to ChatGPT and tell it to explain everything to me like I'm a child. And even add notes. I like having notes in any kind of main section. 99 down to 72. There's an if statement here that doesn't seem like it's complete. That's interesting. See how Notepad++ seems to think there should be a closing bracket to this. Huh. Drew down. It's the Mac of the year. Okay. I just did something fast, really fast. Man, did that execute fast. That was cool. But probably same issue. Man. All right. So I'm gonna take a break from this. Anybody here want to talk about anything besides this? It's definitely generating everything I need it to. It's just not giving me that icon. What a shame. Alt enter, read only, customize, change icon. Yeah, I think there's going to be a part 2 when I figure out how the heck to get this working. And then part 3 is when I sell it for $1 million. Save you so much time and frustration. Yeah. Cool. I got to go get some work done. David, thank you for interacting with me. I always love that. $1 million. That's how much this is going to be worth, the full package when I get it all done. It's going to be worth that much. It's going to save you that much money in your first month. Yeah. And then I'll take 2 seconds, give myself a shameless plug. Um, my next version of my templates, current templates already do a bunch of automatic naming conventions in my window schedules and window nomenclature and room labels and everything like that. My next version of this templates, which you get my templates for a full version cycle, will give you the ability to change the nomenclature of particular things like cabinet coding so that maybe your cabinet vendor does not call it a 2DB24, maybe they call it a B24 2D. And so you get the opportunity to change that in my next version of my templates. And it's pretty simple. There's just an ordered list where you change the nomenclature. But the smart application still stays the same so that if we spray in a garbage and shrink it down to 12 inches, it knows it's spice. If we shrink it down past that, we know it's an end panel. So some cool stuff coming down the line. I'm really excited about my next versions. Just making my life a lot easier. Uh, there you go. And thanks for tuning in.